What's up, dudes? I'm having leftover chicken wrap. It's so good from last night. It's cold. I fixed it up last night and put it in the fridge. It's so yummy. So I'm going to finish this, and then we're going to start AP Energy class. I'm just going to pause it right now. Get your Dunce cap. Okay, I'm done eating. Spirit had me put my sword earrings on. So swords might mean something. So I have my Star MS Gallery Grand deck out. And today we're going to talk about the book, A Confederacy of Dunces. And we're going to learn about the author, John Kennedy Toole. Okay? Toole. This book is kind of like a cult classic, if you will, but it's won the Pulitzer Prize. Cosmic Mirror. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop cards and I'm going to tell you what Spirit says. We're having free soul school right now. The topic, the author. So this story, they've tried to make into a movie several times, but it's just kind of never turned out. Always got delayed. And I think the reason is because the movie, here I'm going to pitch this movie. Attention, Brad Pitt, right here. The movie of A Confederacy of Dunces should be about Ken Toole, the author. So this man was, in my opinion, a spectrum-y man, a high-functioning spectrum-y man who was raised by a hardcore narcissistic mother. If you see his mother, Thelma, you will be blown away by what a cartoon character her narcissism is. And he was, think of the ultimate stage mom who never got her dream to be on stage. And she treated this, her only son, like a golden child. And she praised him in public and berated him in private. And what you see of her in public, you can only imagine the horror of what happened in private. And he, as a grown man, had to provide for his parents and live with them. His father, I just channeled drunk pussy man. The mother absolutely ruled that house. The man just folded into his alcohol. So if you know the book, if you know the story, it takes place in New Orleans. New Orleans might mean something. The movie isn't about telling the book. It's about telling John Kennedy Toole's life story when he wrote the book, A Confederacy of Dunces. And the reason why that's a double whammy is because if you just do the movie of the book about Ignatius Riley, then nobody's going to go buy the book. They've already seen the movie. If you tell the story of, and I say Ken, because around his friends and work colleagues, he went by Ken. His middle name, Kennedy. But then when he went off, Puerto Rico might mean something. When he went off to do his military service, he became John. His first name. A total separate person from all this back where he's Ken. And there's all these dynamics about empath narcissists, things that happen. That's where the movie is. And then throughout, as he's writing the story, A Confederacy of Dunces, in my imagination, his characters as his mind. So what happens is, in the end, this man ends up ending his life before his book gets published and before everybody knows what a truly brilliant author he was. And so my idea for the movie would be showing how Ken's mind is crumbling apart under the weight of this narcissistic abuse from a woman that you love and hate at the same time. And as his mind, as he's trying to get his book published, he starts to slip into paranoia. He starts to go down into mental health issues. Then in my mind, all of a sudden, Ignatius starts showing up, very true romance style with Elvis. Starts showing up in the background, different characters of the book. Then the end scene. How do you do his death? So what he did is he ended up putting a hose from his exhaust into his car. He went out and drove out and parked his car and just slowly went to sleep. So if you know the book, yeah, my idea for that would be, now he always had his muse. His muse was Marilyn Monroe. John Kennedy Toole's muse was Marilyn Monroe 100%, who also was a spectrum-y woman. Divine feminine showgirl with divine sensuality. So here's the end. Well, it's not even the end scene because the rest of the movie goes on to how his mother gets his book published. He's sitting in the front seat of his car. He looks over to the passenger side. There's Marilyn. Darling, open the door. Please. Please open the door, dear. Get a breath of fresh air. He looks back forward. He looks in the rear view mirror in the back seat. The showgirl with the bird on her shoulder. And the police officer just sitting there. He looks back forward again. He looks over in the passenger seat. Now it's Myrna Minkoff. Open the door. You're going to die if you don't open the door. How do you even breathe in here? You got to open the door. Right now, open the door. He looks back up. He turns and looks in the back seat. There's Ignatius, filling the whole entire back seat with his presence. And they just look at each other. And Ignatius rips the biggest blow fart ever. Then he looks back forward again. And it just rests on him for a minute, gripping his steering wheel. You know, the exhaust is filling the car. He looks over. There's Marilyn again. He looks at her and he says, please. And a tear comes out of his eye. And she leans over and kisses him and gives him the kiss of death. Then it goes to black screen. That's the movie. His story. So if you've read this book and you haven't seen this documentary called The Omega Point, you should watch it. And that's what the Soul School spiritual book and movie night is about today. It's about the book A Confederacy of Dunces. It's about learning about the trauma of parental narcissist abuse. It's learning about creative geniuses. It's learning about trying and not succeeding, crumbling into paranoia. And in the end, it was a gem. I hear a cult classic. So I'm going to link that documentary. They have it for free here on YouTube called The Omega Point. And it's all about John Kennedy Toole and him writing a Confederacy of Dunces and about his life story told by his colleagues at the university that he worked at. And that's where the movie is, at the university. It's fun to imagine, isn't it? So I'll put the link to that in the comment section of this video. I'll also find a really great book review. There's a lot of people who do reviews on this book here on YouTube. I'll find a great one if you haven't read the book. And I'll put that down there too. Now, if you don't feel comfortable, remember, all of my readings are interactive. If you're just watching me, you're missing half of the message. I'm an activated Starseed, and you have Starseed transmissions that are down in the comment section of every reading. And this originated on YouTube, so that's the comment section I'm talking about. All right, so if you don't feel comfortable clicking those links, I get it. I promise I'm not nefarious linking. But I'll put the titles to that too, and you can copy the title and paste it into a YouTube search, and that documentary will pop up. So that's our Soul School homework, spiritual movie night, book review, free Soul School, learning about parental narcissist abuse and the devastating effects on sensitive people especially. All right, there you go, dudes. Peace out. Love ya.